What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a high fade on my guys, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, making sure that everything's nice and laid down. Then we switched over to our Go to FX and created our first guideline. You also want to make sure you always contour this guideline to the head shape so that the fade could flow better. Now that we're done bottoming them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Now that guideline is set in, we can slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Don't be afraid to stretch the skin with your opposite hand to give you more room to blend, as you can see what I'm doing here. Since we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper. Using this same guard, we're going to use the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want us to support the channel, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard, we can move on to the half guard and erase the line completely. As you guys can see, we're using the half guard and its lever to erase the line completely, after we were done softening it up with the one guard. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. We're also going to use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper and flick out as much as possible. Once we're done setting in this line, we're then going to use the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done softening up the line, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using its corners will definitely help. As you guys can see here, there's still a faint line, so I switched over to my 1 guard all the way open and used its corners. Now we're going to debulk the top with the 5 guard all the way open, and also we're going to go as slow as possible, making sure that the hair feeds into the teeth of the clipper. Now that we're done debulking the top, we can move on to our clipper over comb method and begin to blend into the parietal ridge. Using your horizontal cuts to debulk is very critical, and using your vertical cuts to blend is very critical. I'm also going back to my previous guards, like the 3 guard all the way open and the 2 guard all the way open, just so I could debulk and remove any weight lines I see. Now I'm detailing with my 1 guard all the way open and my no guard all the way open. With our 1 guard all the way closed, we're going to debulk the beard to make sure everything's nice and even. Now we're going to move on to his sideburns and begin to blend them. I'm starting off with my no guard all the way open and creating my second guideline. Now I'm going to use my trimmers to line up the back of the beard and make it as crispy as possible. I'm also going slow to make sure that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. Now we're going back to the fade and we're going to detail as much as possible near the parietal ridge. Now that we're done with the fade, we can move on to the front line and start off in the middle, working our way to the sides using our Gold FX. I always make sure I go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. You always want to try and keep those corners and vertical bars as natural as possible. I don't like when people go too in and make them at a acute angle. After being very gentle on the mustache, we're moving on to the bottom of the beard, or we're going to make it as crispy as possible. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done with the fade, we can move on to the Turkish razor and Derby premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. But before we do that, we're going to apply some shave gel so that our blade could glide better. When you're using your razor, you always want to make sure you keep it at a 45-degree angle and stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-fade on my boy, so stay tuned. As you can see, it's a pretty big transformation. He usually gets a pushback, but right now we're gonna knock everything down to a 4-guard all the way closed and make sure everything's nice and even. Now that we're done debulking the top, we can move on to our gold FX and create our first guideline. We're gonna make sure we contour this guideline to the head shape so that the fade can flow better. You also want to make sure you don't press too hard with the blade because you don't want to make the line too harsh. Don't be afraid to stretch the skin with your opposite hands to give you more space to either bald out or blend. Now that we're done balding them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Now that we're done setting in that guideline, we're going to slowly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. As you guys can see, we're using the comb to feed the hair into the clipper. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, you can go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow my Instagram. Remember, we're using our 1 guard and our lever to soften up that line and get ready for the half guard. Now that the line is soft enough, we're moving on to our half guard, and we're going to use its lever and its corners to remove the line completely. Now that we're done with the lower guards, we're moving on to our 2 guard all the way open, and we're creating our 4th guideline. Remember, we're going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. As you guys can see, now I'm switching over to my 1.5 guard, and I'm trying to erase the line completely using its corners and its lever. Sometimes after using the 1.5 guard, there's still a faint line, so going back to your 1 guard all the way open and using its corners would definitely help. Now we're moving on to our 3 guard all the way open, and we're going to go ahead and create our 5th guideline and begin to debulk the parietal ridge. This is going to help us create our silhouette and make sure everything's nice and neat. Now I'm moving on to my clipper over comb method, and I'm using my horizontal strokes to debulk and make sure the parietal ridge is smooth. Now I'm starting to use vertical strokes to make sure the blend is nice and clean. As you can see, I'm picking up the hair with the comb and I'm cutting it with my cutting blade at an angle. It's always best to add detail with either your half guard or your 1.5 guard. Those are the guards that blend between the guards. Before we begin to line him up, I'm going to debulk the hairline with my clipper over comb method. Now that we're done removing the excess hair, we can start off with our gold FX right in the middle and work our way to the sides. I always make sure I go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair's gonna shift and then you won't line them up properly. Before I'm done lining him up, I'm going back to the fade and I'm detailing as much as possible. Moving on to the C cup, we're going to start off at the bottom, we'll work our way to the top arch, and we're also going to go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. Now we're going to repeat the same steps on the other side, and we're going to make sure we keep the corners as natural as possible. We don't want to take the vertical bars too deep in. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, you can go ahead and leave the super thanks down below or follow my Instagram. Now that we're done with our C cups, we can move on to the sideburns, and I started off with my no guard all the way open, slightly closing the lever, attacking that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Now I'm moving on to the back of the beard, and I'm using my Gold FX to make it as crispy as possible. Make sure to go slow that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer.